Welcome back. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. My name is Chastity, and I'm your intuitive life coach, energy reader, and Reiki Master. If you found your way to this episode, chances are that you're experiencing or may have already experienced the dark night of the soul. And honestly, what kind of spiritual community would this be if we didn't talk about something that has such a significant impact on someone's life? Now, I don't believe everyone chooses this experience as part of their soul's contract, but for those who do, it becomes a prominent chapter and turning point in their journey. So let's talk about it. What can it feel like? You find yourself face to face with your shadows. At first, it feels heavy, lonely even, as if you've been sealed inside a cocoon with nothing but your thoughts and raw emotions. And as you start doing the inner work, you begin to notice a shift, the faint glow of light breaking through. As you remember who you are, you find yourself feeling more connected to God, to Source, to the divine. And through that journey of remembrance, you move from darkness into light, re emerging from that cocoon into an expanded version of yourself. This is what many call the dark night of the soul. It's a time when life leads you through profound transformation. It is a rebirth guided by your soul itself. And yes, it's painful. And yes, it's also very beautiful. I know firsthand because I've lived through it myself. I know what it feels like to face the mental agony and the emotional pain. And because I've walked through it, I want to create a safe space here for you, a place where you'll find compassion and support should you choose to lean into it. No one can do the work for you, but as a life coach, I can help you rediscover your own strengths and move beyond limiting beliefs. You can learn to transform self sabotaging patterns and behaviors into healthier ways of thinking and living. And that is very necessary so that you can step fully into the version of yourself that you're meant to be. So today we'll explore the dark night of the soul, what can trigger it, and what it feels like while you're moving through it. If you've already been there, I'd love to hear your perspective and have you share your experience. And if you're living through it right now, I really hope you find encouragement here so that you can keep doing the inner work. Because I promise you, it will all be worthwhile. So, what triggers a dark night of the soul? The short answer is any experience that shakes you to your core. Now, there are countless ways that this can happen, but let's touch on just 5 common ones. Losing a loved one. That kind of grief can create such a deep spiritual disconnection that it can mark the beginning of a dark night of the soul. A divorce or a painful shift in an important relationship can stir up transformation that you didn't even see coming. Health challenges. Sometimes they move you into isolation, and in that quiet space of reflection, trying to figure out what went wrong, the journey begins. A traumatic event can also serve as a catalyst. It shakes you so much that you can't help but reevaluate the path that you've been traveling on. And finally, there are certain spiritual connections like twin flames. In these cases, the twin flame is a person whose frequency is so close to yours that they act like a powerful mirror. They reflect both your highest potential and your deepest shadows. So, in that resonance, you feel extreme magnetism, but it's also very triggering because it brings up everything within you that isn't aligned with your true self. So, at the heart of it, the dark night of the soul is always tied to existential questioning. It's that moment when you stop and ask, why am I here? What's the meaning of all of this? What do I truly believe? Who am I beyond the roles, the titles, the expectations? These are not easy questions to answer, but they are the ones that strip away everything false so that the truth of who you really are can emerge. What are some of the experiences that you may have? Well, let's talk about what the dark night of the soul may feel or look like day to day. You may experience sleep disturbances. So you might have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, or you may wake up consistently between 3 and 5 in the morning during those spiritual hours. And actually, some people even experience hypersomnia, which is excessive sleepiness during the day or feeling that they could sleep all the time. Personally, I experienced major insomnia. I'd stay up really late because I wasn't able to fall asleep, or I would wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning. I would see those early morning wake up calls like the universe saying, hey, you know those things that you've been avoiding? Well, let's talk about them now. And I think, well, I guess we can because there's nothing else I can do at this time without waking up somebody in my household. I have to say, though, that even though being woken up involuntarily was definitely annoying at times, I did notice that I could still function surprisingly well on less sleep. My body didn't need or seem to need as much sleep. And some of you may have that similar experience. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. You might find yourself feeling fatigue and low energy. Even when you do manage to get adequate sleep, you may still wake up feeling drained, like no amount of rest is enough. But here's the thing, this isn't just about physical tiredness. A big part of it comes from the emotional and mental weight that you've been carrying. Those unprocessed emotions, the ones that you've been holding on to or trying to push aside, those, yeah, they start to take a toll over time. But when you give yourself permission to feel those pent up emotions fully and you choose to release the ones that no longer serve you, like shame or guilt, you'll start to notice a shift. That process of clearing will move you forward with significantly greater vitality and energy. You may find yourself experiencing feelings of worthlessness or being overly self critical. It can feel like your entire life is playing back in short, looping clips, and every decision, every mistake, every regret comes into sharp focus. And as you review your past choices, it's easy to be harsh with yourself, to replay old judgments, and to wish you had done things differently. But this movie rewind is part of the cleansing and transformation process. By bringing up these old wounds and regrets back into your awareness, you give yourself the chance to finally heal them. You start to see patterns very clearly, and you get the chance to release the weight of the self judgment. It's uncomfortable, yes, and painful, yes, but also very liberating. And here's something I would love for you to understand. The very fact that you are questioning and being hypercritical of yourself is evidence that you are having not just an honest conversation with yourself, but you are recognizing that you would make different choices today. If you are judging yourself, it means that you've grown, that the old version of you is no longer around. So stop trying to carry it with you. Show yourself compassion. You might also notice that you no longer feel drawn to the things that you once enjoyed. This is one of the clearest, most tangible signs that you are changing. Activities that once brought you joy may no longer resonate. Instead, you might feel pulled toward new interests, curious about things that never mattered to you before. And this shift is a natural part of the transformation. It signals that your inner world is evolving and that your outer world is adjusting to align with the person that you are becoming. The people closest to you will notice these changes too. They might ask, "Why aren't you doing this anymore?" Or, "That's not something you cared about before." But their comments aren't criticism, they're simply mirrors. They're showing you that the person you're becoming is starting to show up in the world. You may also notice a heightened sensitivity to energy and emotions. It's as if your body has become a finely tuned instrument, able to detect harmony or discord almost instantly. You might notice subtle shifts in tone, body language, or even the mood of a room before anyone else does. Crowded places, noisy environments, or chaotic situations that never used to bother you now feel overwhelming. And this sensitivity is a signal that your awareness is expanding. It's allowing you to navigate life with a deeper understanding of yourself and of the energies around you. You may also notice a craving for solitude. You'll feel the need to spend more time alone, quietly processing thoughts and emotions as they come to the surface. And when you are ready to spend more time with family and friends, when you're ready to reconnect with them, here's something that I can guarantee. You will not reconnect with anyone in the same way you did before. Some relationships will naturally deepen and grow stronger, while others will gently fade away, simply because your energy has shifted. You cannot and will not connect in the same way. You may notice changes in your eating habits. You may find that you feel the need to make sudden shifts in the food choices that you make. Your dietary choices will shift. Foods that you once loved might no longer appeal to you. Your body may naturally gravitate towards new foods that better support the inner shift that you're making and that's taking place. And you'll notice pretty quickly that the changes have a positive impact on your health and well being. I know that this next one sounds really odd, especially as I say this out loud, but you might notice that time doesn't quite flow the same way. Some moments seem to stretch on forever, while others fly by in an instant. It can feel a little strange, almost like you're moving through a different dimension of time. But it's all part of the way that your perception changes and shifts as you move through the transformation. You may find yourself strongly guided toward a period of celibacy, and this isn't random. Your mind and body are going through a cleansing process, and the physical pause supports the emotional and spiritual purification that's happening within you. And if you resist it, you might even notice that your body has a way of making the choice for you. And more so, through the dark night of the soul, you may feel a deep yearning for truth, for meaning. You might even find yourself drawn to spiritual teachings or books, seeking answers to the questions that are stirring up inside of you. And here's the fascinating part, especially for me as a life coach, because we love asking questions. That's how we help you arrive at your answers. Each answer you find often leads to even more questions. This is actually a sign that your soul is unfolding. It's inviting you to go deeper and to explore the layers of who you truly are. It's a journey that doesn't end with a single answer. It's a continuous, evolving discovery of yourself. Now, I often encourage you to share your experiences with this community because you never know who may be inspired by your story. So let me lead by example and share a part of mine. I had already done a lot of inner work. I had identified limiting beliefs, worked through self sabotaging behaviors. I had also already experienced several life changing events. But when the dark night of the soul came, it was unlike anything I'd ever faced before. It was as if multiple triggers converged all at once, and the intensity was overwhelming at times. My faith and strong spirituality kept me anchored, but my courage and resilience were tested on every other level. I really thought, up to that point, that I had done a lot of healing and inner work, but oh my goodness, was I wrong. There were so many hidden layers of conditioning that I had to work through one at a time, even aspects of myself that I hadn't realized I was concealing from myself. But as I began peeling back these layers, I no longer feared what I would find. The experience shifted, and it started to feel more like an adventure, discovering clues and attending to unresolved emotions along the way. The journey helped me not just hide my intuition, but all of my gifts, not just the spiritual ones. I even used to have intense and lucid dreams, and even those became more multidimensional, like traveling through layers of reality. One of the biggest lessons I learned was about receiving. Giving has always been easy for me. I love helping people, so I would naturally and easily give of my time, energy, resources, and share my gifts to help others. But I had to learn how to receive, and the universe, in its loving yet unrelenting way, put me in situations where I had no choice but to receive love, support, and help in many different ways. And that shift opened my heart in ways that I never expected. I realized it was all preparing me not just to help myself, but to be able to help others in a deeper, more compassionate way. My work as an intuitive life coach, energy reader, and Reiki practitioner took on even more meaning. If you are moving through your own dark night of the soul, I wish I could tell you that it will be easy. I can't. But I can tell you that it gets easier the more you open yourself up to facing every aspect of yourself. No one can do the healing for you. It requires recognizing your inner truth and being very vulnerable and honest with yourself and also with those closest to you. Any attempt to avoid introspection and to looking within will only extend this journey for you. There are no shortcuts. So, if you are in your own dark night of the soul right now, please remember this. You are not being punished. You are being transformed. The parts of you that no longer serve your highest good are falling away, and what remains will be the truest, brightest version of you. Some days will feel like too much, but trust that every single moment, even the darkest ones, or I should say, most especially the darkest ones, they're shaping you into who you came here to be. Just like the caterpillar in its cocoon, it may feel like everything is dissolving, but when the cocoon opens, you emerge with wings. If this episode resonated with you, I encourage you to share your own experiences in the comments. You really never know who might need to hear your story. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Until next time, may love and light always guide you. Take care.